All right, Rainbow Warriors, we are here at Cal Anderson Park, ready to check out the Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, Autonomous District, quote unquote CHAZ, the Capitol Hill Autonomous District. I've heard reports that they have armed guards and armed vigilantes here. I don't think that's going to be true for daytime, but I have a feeling that might be true at nighttime. They've got part of the hill and part of the roads blocked off. So we're just gonna go do a quick investigation. Let's see. It's Tuesday, June 9th. Investigating the CHAZ, the Capitol Hill Autonomous District. Rainbow Warriors stand for peace and prosperity, for we the people controlling our government, and this quite literally contradicts that, because they're trying to establish a district or an autonomous zone where they're not under the city's jurisdiction. And while there are some valid complaints about the way the city's legislative process and law enforcement has been operating, we still need a body to do these societal functions. So completely separate off a vigilante zone is dangerous rhetoric and does not work to the solution of reforming law enforcement, Seattle PD, and overall quality of life for Seattle citizens. And Rainbow Warriors understand that. Park feels pretty calm today. A lot calmer than it was Saturday night, but that's sort of a given. Still got the booth set up here. First aid kit, so that's good. Have their own separate medical department now.
Damn.
All right.
And also, if you have extra water, we can take a case of water and distribute it for you. Awesome. I'll take some.
Seattle protests.
I like this. This is a good example of community solutions. This is something that we want to work with, is Capitol Hill residents working together to create prosperity, to have simple solutions for common problems. An example of this right here is medical freedom. Basic first aid. Capitol Hill residents taking control of basic first aid. And I think that's an idea that should be encouraged. Medical freedom, communal efforts. Throwing flashbangs there earlier, right?
Yeah, I was here. Yeah, that's when I was here. It's way more calm now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming soon too.
Okay. Good to see you guys.
Just that one. Get a shot. So let's check out the main blockade here. Where the front line was between Seattle PD.
Yeah, this is where it all went down.
This section right here. I want to clarify, Rainbow Warriors totally stand for police reform and for ending police brutality, but we have to be smart about it. We have seen the Seattle city government get billions of dollars from homeless, and we've seen the issue get completely exacerbated and exploding with disaster this last decade. So I do not believe a blanket 50% budget cut followed by major social programs to be effective to replace the current form of the Seattle Police Department will be effective or increase prosperity or decrease violence for the city at large. We do need to audit the police budget, but we need to be rational and patient with it. and we need to make sure that we're actually making positive solutions. Okay, I'm not seeing any armed vigilantes here, so that might have been some extra hype on the right side of the aisle, but that's just what we haven't seen so far. So this is on 12th. Wow.
I don't think I'm gonna have time to hang out here.
So Rainbow Warriors of Seattle, here we are at the East Precinct, completely boarded up, it's been spray painted over with the Seattle People's Department. I am interested to see how the future of this plays out. We already have camped citizens, homeless citizens camping out in front of it. I don't know how much police traffic is going to be coming in and out. I'm not really even sure entirely which protesting group is actually claiming authority over the CHAZ, or the Capitol Hill Autonomous District, and by extension, the Seattle Police Department East Precinct. Seattle Police still apparently are staffing the East Precinct, but I have not seen any cops around here, and I'm curious to see the future of police presence in the area.
Oh, I didn't even touch it. Public tents.
Get a line shot, cross. Walk a little faster. Tent here too. So we can already see that with the lack of police presence and the CHAZ zone is going to see an increase in encampments and what I imagine to be public drug consumption. And I hope that this is not the future for public housing in this area, because certainly camping out on the street is not adequate public housing. It's interesting how I think within the last, when did they abandon the precinct? Was it yesterday? Or was it the day before?
I don't recall.
With the, however long it's been, in this short amount of time, we already have full-on encampments starting to develop. So here it says east side is ours. I'm very interested to see how the future of this situation plays out, because having an autonomous zone from the rest of the city, I don't think is a step to the solutions of having better city policy, better law enforcement policy, and a more united community. I understand the frustration, but I do feel like the statement "Together we stand" is a bit oxymoronic, considering they're literally carving out an autonomous zone. What's interesting is I think the Seattle Fire Department hasn't been abandoned, right next to the Seattle Police Department.
No, I'm here.
So have you guys seen armed guards here
I've seen
at the CHAZ?
photos, yeah, and I've seen a few people with like AR-15s.
AR-15s, really?
Yeah.
From the protest groups?
Yeah.
Do you know which group?
I don't know which group. I don't know if they're necessarily affiliated with any group, but I know there are individuals that own, like have like permits to carry that are here to protect the people.
Oh, they're here to protect the people?
Furthest knowledge, we have the nationwide BLM, but there is also a separate Seattle group that has been protesting this week, who I've been trying to communicate with, and this is where they have gotten so far. But I feel like the next step is a little bit more organized and establishing.
So armed BLM members?
No.
No,
Sorry.
No.
people who have weapons.
People who have weapons.
Firearms.
Individuals who have individual firearms are
Yeah.
here
for a separate cause
to
from the
protect
nationwide.
against primarily Proud Boys showing up and
I
trying to
see.
incite violence.
So like not necessarily Antifa
Right.
or like alt-left faction, and not a white supremacist or right-wing faction.
As far as they have identified.
Yeah, but a neutral who's here to sort of keep the peace.
Yeah.
Peacekeepers.
And to be
Yeah.
clear,
Have
Antifa is
you
not a
heard them like
organization.
define themselves as peacekeepers? Have you like, did you
I've
talk
not
to any?
No, I've not specifically
To my
talked
knowledge,
to
they
anyone.
have defined themselves as people from Puget Sound, a gun club from there.
Puget Sound Gun Club.
Yeah, right. John, I have to clarify the name. Tell everyone Max said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys Cap Hill residents?
I'm a
No,
Seattle resident.
Seattle resident.
Yeah, I'm Seattle resident too, but I don't live in Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I would feel, I think, I don't know how I would feel about
John Brown Gun Club, Puget Sound.
John Brown Gun Club.
I've
Oh,
heard that.
okay. Yeah. Well, if they're not with an alt-left or alt-right faction, I think that stands for like a little less concern. But
Let's make sure it doesn't get too crazy.
what do you
Yeah.
guys think
Make sure
though,
it gets
compared
productive
to?
afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, so like I, for example, think that we do have problems with like police brutality, and you know, the Seattle Police Department could use reform. Do you feel safer with the John Brown Gun Club guarding this place, or do you think you'd feel safer with Seattle Police?
I don't necessarily agree with that question.
Okay.
I don't believe that this is a permanent solution. I believe this is a temporary solution in order to allow us enough distance from direct police line to engage in conversations about how to enact permanent change, not only in police reform, but in police abolition.
Okay. So you wanna?
Like
So I
to-
don't feel safe being protected by police, and I also don't feel safe being protected by individuals with their own individual firearms. This is a temporary solution to a long-term problem that needs serious reform.
that hopefully gets established very soon, which is why separate.
This is his thing.
Yeah, this is me. Thursday, we're calling for a meeting at the reflection pool. I can give everyone
To
their separate.
defund the police?
Yeah, do not. That's an X over the defund.
Oh, not to defund.
Is a happy medium that I swear we can achieve if people are patient enough, even to have a conversation for Thursday. We can come closer to that. And Thursday, the reflection pool. Let's meet and have a logical conversation. We have the precinct, but before anything gets out of hand or escalated in the wrong direction, let the right people meet.
Oh, I see.
How do I think? Hopefully, probably balanced and peaceful, right? That's what we all want.
Yeah, I agree.
What's happening here, or if it doesn't.
This so-called autonomous zone, like I said, I believe this is a temporary solution to a problem that is a lot more serious. This is not a permanent solution. I think this is people occupying a space in order to gain distance from police brutality and direct police fire, in order to have conversations about how to enact serious, legal, permanent, sustainable change. At least that's what I hope this is. If we can manage to stay organized and find voices that are willing to be out organizing, that's what this could be.
Yeah, I
Let's
agree.
start Thursday.
Thank you.
Calendars and reflection.
Yeah, I totally agree. There needs to be a really rational
Exactly. We need
conversation.
to have a mature conversation about reforming the police department, not just completely defunding them. There are other Rainbow Warriors looking to join this conversation in order to create a higher functioning police system for the citizens of Seattle to enjoy more peace and enjoy more prosperity, and to have less abuse from law enforcement and from each other at large. A safer Seattle, a more peaceful Seattle, a more prosperous Seattle is the goal. We have the Capitol Hill Autonomous District functioning now. We want to get it to a point where the citizens of Capitol Hill feel safer, where they feel like they can trust the police again. Okay, Rainbow Warriors of Seattle, I'm here at the Cal Anderson Reflection Park. We're going to be meeting here Thursday night at 6 p.m. to talk about other options besides just defunding the police. We need to improve the police department. We need to reform the police department. We can audit the budget of the police department. We need to stop the militarization of the police, and we need to increase the effectiveness of public order. Simply abolishing their budget by 50% is not a way to go. It will only lead to more problems. It will only lead to, I think, a further disorder of public prosperity country at large is divided between left and right. The state is divided between left and right. We need to find unifying topics of solutions. We need to really hone in on what are the solutions. What does victory look like? How is Seattle going to prosper in 2030, 2050, and 2100?